it is 8:30, and I better stop that before that kicks in. It's 8:30 on Wednesday, which means it's sort of our trash talk time. Now, we don't do these that regularly, but, you know, right now we've got John the man with us. How are you doing, John?
All good, Tim. All good.
Yeah, have you frozen in Scotland yet, mate?
It's actually been pretty mild recently. First rain we had today was first bit in a while. Yeah, surprisingly. You'd not even think it was winter, let alone winter in Scotland.
Right. So it's not cold in Scotland. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, it's not cold for the natives, I guess.
It's not cold. I mean, if I was to go up there, I'd freeze.
Probably, yeah.
All right. Well, not only have we got John with us, Dave is struggling to get on at the minute. He's having a couple of technical difficulties, so we're sort of working along that side, you know, as we get on. I think he's after a Skype, to be truthful. Yeah, but in the meantime, we have the infamous Richard Dando with us from Warlord. How are you doing, Rich?
Hello, I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty good. In case you didn't know, actually, what I'm trying to do is, I know Dave couldn't get on today. That's because I've sabotaged his internet line. So I'm actually here to become the next Dave. Is what I'm here for, really. So it's a dark plot, seriously. Is what it is.
Yeah, but you see, it may be a dark plot, but there's a sort of unbalancing in the force. Yeah, because I'm Brit, John's US, and what do you play?
Marines. So we're winning, guys. Good. It's fine.
It's Buffalo.
Unless this Tale of Three Gamers has suddenly turned into a bit of a blue-on-blue action, you know.
I like it. I like it. Yeah.
It's all right. The children aren't in bed yet. I'm expecting a visit. So, right. Now, we wanted to pick your brains on the best way of beating Dave since he's not here. Yeah, because me and John... Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, he's not here. We might as well take the opportunity of an experienced sort of Marine player, yeah, and sort of figure out the best way of giving Dave a kicking. Because he did beat us last time, didn't he?
Yeah. It was close, but yeah, he did.
It was close. Yeah, now, we discovered one thing, yeah, that really scares Dave, and that's Gurkhas. Do you know when you have in any sort of war game that one unit which, you know, you get this idea that you've got nothing that can stop it and it was just going to chew through whatever you've got. He sort of got that. Hey, look, here he is now.
Now he shows up. Now he shows up.
Oh,
he heard. He knew. He knew.
Oh, mate.
Don't.
Look at it.
Don't.
He's not happy.
No,
mate, you've been having technical problems.
Technical isn't the word. Just difficulties.
Well, you just scuppered our plans because we were going to pick Dando's brains on how to beat you.
You can't beat me. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't you start that, son. I think historically you'll find we can beat you.
Historically, yes. On the
Yes,
tabletop, no chance.
He's
no
only
chance.
been on the show for what, 30 seconds, and we're already starting.
I
I think
this more
how to beat Dave, taking into consideration all of the new stuff that the Japs are getting. I think that's the question.
Right, before we jump into bot action, I think it's fair to say that, you know, we should give that. Now, obviously, Warlord Games, they've been great with us, and, you know, they've got a new game. It's a sci-fi game, some palaver like that, you know. I haven't taken much notice. Yeah. So, oh, God, Dando! Did you just hold the box up?
No. You saw nothing. You saw nothing.
Yeah. Just quickly off topic. There was a sort of a panel show, yeah, sort of a comedy panel show, and one of the guys, yeah, was trying to advertise his new book on the BBC. So he pulled his book out, yeah, and he's got it out, and they sort of showed in the outtakes. You know how they put the outtakes out? The assistant who walks in and takes the book off him because he's like getting shouted at by the producer. So he takes the book off, yeah. So the guy, yeah, it goes away. Anyway, the guy takes his jumper off, and he's got the book printed on his T-shirt. So this is the book back on.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Hand over for the T-shirt. Yeah. Yeah. So he's like, all right. Takes the T-shirt off. He's got it drawn on his stomach. Dando, that's what you need, mate. That's what you need for Gates of Antari. So anyway, mate.
That's the next level.
What you're saying is I need to get the cover tattooed on my chest, yeah?
You do realise my wife's a tattooist. If we ever get drunk, you may wake up with Gates of Antares tattooed across you.
We should kickstart this. We should kickstart this. It'd be great.
Mate, you could
Dando
retire.
tattoos.
I mean, I've heard people have made money from having their bodies like covered with companies' logos. I mean, I think you'll be the first wargaming logo.
I'm not far off. I'm not far off.
Then again,
this-
people have Aquillas and stuff like that, so you know, you never know. You might see your first bolt action or Gates of Antares. So before we jump into bolt action and figure out what we're going to do with Dave, tell us about Gates of Antares. How's it going right now? How mad is it?
It's going ridiculously well. It is ridiculously mad. We've had to bring in an entire separate team of packers to come in to pack them for us because we've sold so many. It's been ridiculous. But yeah, we've had to rent an entire separate couple of warehouses downstairs to get them packed, get them stored. We've had boxes upon boxes upon boxes upon boxes of sprues and dice and books and everything arriving over the past sort of month or so. It's all come together this past week, and this past week we've had a team in, I think from Saturday at 7 a.m. They packed all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So all this week, 7 days of just nothing but packing the Xylos Horizon sets, the starter set. So it's been pretty much around the clock. It's been crazy. We've got, I believe all the pre-orders are now shipped out for Xylos Horizon. So they're all about people. The first people to receive them, I think, received them yesterday and today. So we're starting to get feedback. We're starting to get photos and unboxings and first impressions and all that stuff. So yeah, so far it's all going really, really well. There's been no real hitches in it so far, touch wood. And so far, so far it's been really well received by the community. It went over to Beast of War, and the guys from there unboxed it with John, our owner, back on last Friday, I believe. There's a quick unboxing on our YouTube channel as well, with me talking at a million miles an hour for like 5 minutes. So it's 5 minutes of video with about 25 minutes of talking, just condensed by just sheer volume of caffeine. And there's more videos coming from us as well to promote it as well. So yeah, really, really good so far. Box set's gone ridiculously well, and there are plenty more releases and bits and pieces coming, starting from the rulebook, which was released for pre-order last Friday. So they'll be shipping out again, I think, this week, I believe. And then we've got things like templates and pin markers and extra units and box sets and plastics this coming month, and then heaps and heaps more. And again, the sculptors, we've already got a year's worth of releases already mastered for it. So there's an entire year's worth of releases already done, essentially, for Antares, including 6 plastic box sets. There are heaps and heaps and heaps of metal support units and troops and teams and bits and pieces. We're starting to see the first bigger things from the studio, including resin things, and also this week we were talking to some suppliers about getting some other big things made in a different medium as well. But yeah, particularly yesterday we saw Wojtek, our tame Polish sculptor that is literally chained to his desk all day long, does nothing but sculpting for us 24 hours a day. He's sculpting a big thing that's very, very interesting, very, very nice, and very, very nasty. I'm a Concord player, so I'm not a big fan of it, obviously. So it's not a Concord thing. But again, we've seen some bigger Concord bits and pieces coming through as well. Yeah, and so now kind of what we've released so far is kind of it's a lot of core units for the army. So it's a lot of troops, it's a lot of support teams, it's a lot of command teams. It's something that we're kind of familiar with from a lot of different games. But now I think going forwards now, we're going to start seeing the more interesting stuff. So the bigger stuff, the elite units that have got weaponry that you won't have seen before ever, and yeah, lots of interesting stuff. As I say, the rulebook's gone out there. People are starting to see the rulebook and seeing all the different weapons in there. The rulebook's got pages and pages and pages of like an armory section, which has all got blueprints of all the different weapons in Antares. Have all got blueprints in there, and they've all got descriptions of kind of fluff-wise how they work in the game, and again stats of how they work in the game. So there's heaps and heaps and heaps, and again there's lots of different vehicles in there with blueprints as well that I believe are all going to be produced in different mediums over the course of the next however long. So yeah, there's heaps and heaps coming. It's going really well so far. It's, if you haven't played it, it's evolved from the beta. It's become its own being, and it's become quite a beast. It has a number of mechanics that are familiar to you bolt action players. It's got orders dice. It's got pin markers that work slightly differently. But apart from that, it's a very different beast. So a lot of it harkens back to kind of Rogue Trader days. So there's a lot of customization you can do with regards to a lot of weapons have different types of munitions you can use to you know, for better anti-armor, for better anti-infantry and stuff, and have different effects.
Okay. Just one quick question then, because you know where I'm like
Yes.
playing devil's advocate, and that sounds very complicated. Yeah, is it a complicated
think so.
game, or when you actually get to the tabletop, is it like I mean, from our experience of bolt action, it's smooth. You know, it's pretty easy. It flows. You know, we pretty know where we stand. Now, from what you're
Common
saying,
sense games, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So, does the same apply to Antares, or are we looking at a much bigger intellectual beast?
No, no. I say it's to get started. It's very much like bolt action. So if you haven't played bolt action, if we go from absolute zero, you learn it like bolt action. So it's all intuitive. Once you get started, after your first few games, you'll use kind of the basic rules, which are outlined in a separate pamphlet inside the box itself, in a getting started guide. So that's kind of your basic rules. In that, you'll start off only using one type of munition per weapon and stuff, and you'll start off not using the more advanced terrain rules and stuff. You'll start off with kind of the basics, and then from those basics, there's loads of little bolt-ons you can then start to add on to make the games more interesting and to add different tactics and bits and pieces. So yeah, to get started with it, it's very intuitive. It's very sort of, as you say, quite common sense gaming. But there's heaps and heaps and heaps of extras you can then pile on. And obviously you don't have to pile them all on at once. But yeah, there's loads of customization. And also things like, even like army list building. Obviously you pick units and you then pick kind of upgrades for them. But there's also kind of army options and things. So you can pick in kind of different tricksy bits and pieces of different ways that you can affect orders dice. So we all know that orders dice, you pick them out of the bag and that's who goes next. But there are different ways that you can affect the orders dice picking, so that if someone picks a dice and it's their dice, you can either sort of pinch that dice or put that dice back in the bag and kind of affect it in that way. So there's all kinds of weird little tricksy things you can do, and different weapons in the game that also affect not only kind of killing units and stuff, but also affecting things like how the orders dice work, how pinning works, that kind of thing. So there's lots of, I say, it's kind of similar to bolt action, but there's lots of other little sci-fi trickery in there as well that you can then bolt on. But again, I say that's all kind of bolty on stuff. But the way I've learned it so far is learn the basics, and then we're between the staff here in our little campaign, we're kind of bolting on the extras as we go to learn it in chunks, as it were.
That was like us when we played. Start off with the basics and then slowly add the weapon systems and the support and that sort of stuff. Right, that's enough Gates of Antares, man. Breathe, breathe, man. How much coffee have you had today, or are you decaffeinating at the minute?
Oh, I'm actually decaffeinating. I haven't had any coffee for like 3 days now, and I feel terrible for it. So thanks for reminding me.
Have you had heart palpitations yet?
No comment.
No, seriously, watch it. Decaffeinate. Yeah, that's a solid yes.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all good.
What is it? Is it coffee or sugar that's more addictive than heroin? I can't remember. One of them is.
Sugar.
No, seriously.
I was going to say probably sugar. It's got.
Yeah, I think it's sugar, isn't it?
I love me some sugar.
Oh, I love me some sugar. I love sugar. Give me some sweet sugar. But anyway, we are here to talk about the Bolt of the Action. Now, as we know, Pacific releases keep coming. Now, before we do talk about the Bolt of the Action, yeah, I see Ant Evans, I see Brain, Gangamaz, T, Creatives, Graham, hey up Dreddy, hey up Rob, hey up Graham, hey up Nick. Who else? Lots of people talking. And that's everyone. You know the drill. If you want to say hi, just say hi. Any questions, any comments, throw them in the comments, guys, and we'll drill Dando. Yeah? Oh, what you got?
Ant's got a Dave question there, straight up.
Yeah, what you call it? Ant Evans has got, what you call it, he plays Jap, so we'll ignore him for the purpose of this show.
Hey! Leave my Japanese brother alone.
So you get back in the corner. Go on, little Dave, back in the corner, you. Just because you won. We wrote the history books, mate. As far as on my channel, yeah, we won.
Yeah.
We're just following like the timeline of the war, though. The Japs had it all right early on, and then later on. Sorry, Dave.
Boom.
You can come at me with your flamethrower tag.
In our gaming circle.
Well,
you will never stop the Japanese onslaught.
Oh yes, we will. You will get to the foot of the Chindi Mountains, mate, and then we will give you a kitting. We may have to swim across the Irrawaddy to do it, but we're coming. We're coming, brother.
You can try.
So anyway, yeah, we know Warlord. Obviously, they've got Gates of Antares going on, and it is everywhere, and it does seem to be a bit of a buzz. But our interest is in bolt action now. Yeah, there's obviously bolt action stuff is coming out all the time. So give us, say, one or two things that Dave's going to be getting, which we're going to regret, Dando. What's Dave going to be getting that's going to make us cry?
I don't think Dave's yet got hold of the SSKI that came out the other week, which is the Japanese engineering tank we talked about before. That has
No.
5 flamethrowers and gravity cores and things. Yeah, that'll be on its way to Dave very shortly.
Morally wrong.
Can you just play
That's,
that
that's
package?
quite nasty.
Yeah.
For a fee,
can
yes,
only
of course.
shoot So you're alright.
What's the bets? Yeah, whichever Japanese engineer designed that went on to make something like Gundam.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It was-
Do you know? I mean, it's so over the top. I mean, what are you going to do after the war ends? You're not going to go and make cars, are you? Right, what are you going to do? I'm going to make massive killing machines.
Well, it's great.
But
It was
little
one of the,
models.
it was the most successful Japanese engineering vehicle of the war. So the chassis itself was used for a bunch of different tasks. So it was also used for things like chemical decontamination, and also it was used to disperse chemical gases and stuff to kill the enemy and stuff, as well as things like bridging. As it was used as a bridging tank, it was used as mine clearance. It was used for all sorts of bits and pieces. But yeah, we picked this nice, tasty 5 flamethrower death beast of a vehicle to produce as well. Because we thought, Mel, you'd enjoy that a lot, really.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You had me in mind, mate. I appreciate that. Now, what I want to know, that's raised a certain question in my mind. Yeah. Now, obviously, you make things, and obviously you go, right, there was this battle, these were the vehicles. But when you sort of like cover the main ones, and you start to get into the more sort of interesty, specially fringe ones, where do they come from? I mean, is it from community suggestions, or does like Alessio wake up one morning with a genius idea? I'm sure somewhere I heard mentioned 20 years ago of a Japanese 5 flamethrower. Someone find the name and we'll write the rules. How does it, where do the ideas come from?
Kind of everywhere, really. We, up until a couple of years ago, I think it was kind of predominantly just from the studio. They kind of picked. Obviously, there are, as you say, there are kind of really easy answers to do all the kind of the core stuff that everyone knows. But when it comes to kind of specialist stuff, a lot of it kind of came from the studio, from them deciding. From again, I think perhaps just they saw a documentary, they saw this cool thing, and wanted to do that. I think the vehicles themselves are produced, I think, by two different guys. There's a guy over in Poland. Who produces them for us, and there's also Derek here in England in our studio upstairs who produces them as well. And again, they have their own specific, as everyone does, they have their own sort of specific flavours to themselves, and they have their different preferences and stuff. So again, they themselves will produce stuff.
I suppose they'll be vehicle people, though. They'd know the history because that's their interest.
Oh, yeah.
Like many people in this hobby, you do what you love. Now, can I put a request in? Yeah, for a vehicle. Well, can I put a request in for 2? Yeah. First, just on the off chance, if you ever get a spare time to do a vehicle and you've got nothing to do, I'd love one of the Valentine ATs from Wilder Tanks. Just for myself, I just love it. Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, for my Valentines, can I have an MNG mounted on the back of a mule? Because that's the closest I'm ever going to get to a bloody tank in this battle.
That's
conversion, surely.
Mechanics right there. Engineering.
Surely you can convert that.
Yeah, every time you shoot it, you got to see if the mule runs.
It doesn't get back.
As long as it runs back in cover, I don't give a damn, mate.
Nice.
You can spin around and set your own guys.
No, I must.
Easy conversion.
I must admit, when we were playing our game, I kept looking over, and even though John's tank wasn't particularly huge, not having a tank, and the chin
bigger than the Chiha. Come on, don't be putting my tank down.
Yeah. Come on, I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest, we're all
bigger than that
40k players, Going from a 40k tank, to a real scale tank, it takes a bit of adjustment to start off with. I mean, I know they're the real scale. I know that's what. John's got an M3 Sherman, okay, and at the Stoke Wargaming Club, right next to it is a car dealership, and right now they have an M3 Sherman parked on their forecourt. Yeah.
Just because.
And what got me was, my car's bigger than it. Yeah, I've got a little people carrier, and my people carrier is bigger than this M3 Sherman. And it was suddenly the grounding of like, actually, those in World War, because I mean, from my military background, you know, you talk about tanks, you talk about Challenger, you know, you
Yeah.
talk about, you know, serious tonnage. Yeah, proper. I mean, hell, I used to drive a Watchcolour 432, you know, and that was considered small, but that's still a massive thing compared to, you know, what we look at World War Two. And so looking at the M3 on the tabletop, you sort of like, no, that can't be, that's wrong, with all impression of tanks. And then seeing it and thinking, my car's bigger than that. I mean, I prefer that over my car. The kids would love to go to school in an M3, wouldn't it? I mean, how cool would that be?
We'd have no problem with traffic.
Wonder how much they only got on a trade-in. That's what's part of the car.
Do you know what? I'm actually qualified to drive the track vehicle on public road, and I was looking at it back when we had the business and we were doing really well. You know, years ago. Yeah, I was seriously looking at picking up a 432. Yeah, to go driving around the country lanes in. Yeah, I got a 6K budget for it, and I could have done it, but I didn't.
Again, kickstart it. Kickstart it.
Mate. Oh, plenty of things to kickstart.
Get Tank.
Get Tank. The terrain tutor goes on tour. Don't give me ideas.
Make it so.
That would be amazing. We're up on a jolly blaze.
You know what I'm like. I mean, I could get drunk one night and realise that I wake up next morning to find we're halfway funded. You know, I have the means, the will, and the ability to broadcast the message. It could happen.
Yes. Let's go for it.
But anyway, yeah. I've got to say, yeah, now I felt sadly lacking. Now I feel the need for some artillery. Yeah, because Corbyn's getting a hell of a barrage of what's called of 105mm howitzers, because they're hits.
Yes.
Yeah, he now has a battery of 3 between the one we've got here, the one he's painted that's at school, and the one that's the one that Dave's painted. Yeah, so they're Corbyn's. Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's a
so his entire army.
No, he's also basically, when we get some more jabs, yeah, Dave's going to convert a squad up to be bamboo suicide guys. So basically, when we play games, Corbyn can join in and simply charge towards us.
Just keep running.
Yeah,
nice.
It keeps it's straight up his street. It keeps the mechanics simple for him. Yeah, and you know it'll be a bit of a jolly, and he loves it. I mean, I've got to say. Bot action has actually been really interesting. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know John, I know Dave. We've all been watching our documentaries and that sort of stuff and picking up various bits and bobs. I mean, are you guys still watching your stuff?
I haven't watched anything recently. Actually,
There's not too many documentaries for the Japanese. I've watched them many a times.
There's only so much YouTube. Mate, you want to go on something like audiobook or something like that and start getting the verbal, the books that are read to you. Do you know, audiobooks? Yeah. Because there's tons. I've looked, there's tons. Yeah. And I'm sure you can find somewhere to get your hands on them nefariously. But we don't endorse anything like that, mate. You know,
no, never.
It doesn't Audible or something like that give a free book a month or something if you just sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know you'll be able to codge one a month off then, and then just get a couple more email addresses across different devices.
I've got a few.
Come on, we've all done it at some point. Even Dando's smiling. Maybe in the younger days. So. Yeah,
just to clarify, is this mic sounding any better first before?
Yeah, a lot better, dude. A lot better. Cool. Yeah, what you call it? Everyone's saying, yeah, a lot better. Loads of people are generally chatting about kittens and animal-orientated mules and stuff. You know how they are in the what you call it in the comments. Come on, guys, if you've got any questions, throw them up. Yeah, so we were talking about Japanese tanks and how to deal with them and how wrong it is that the Chindits don't have tanks. Yeah, now, on that basis, yeah, I got me air support. Yeah.
Yes, nice.
Me Uncle Fester. Okay. Now,
the Mustang.
found out a little, a little bit of interesting information.
I'm not impressed today.
The Chindits pioneered, missile air to surface missile strikes in close support, with one air commando. That was a Chindit thing with one air commando, which means this baby's getting modelled with rockets, and as per house rules, means it rolls double damage.
Hey?
House rules.
Mel ain't got no tanks. You got to give me a beastie plane. I ain't got no tanks. It's not fair. I've got a mule. Dave, if you don't give me like double damage because I can fire rockets, I'm going to start dropping mules on you from the back of Waco gliders, boy. It's been done.
Mules. We use them as well. We'll tame them.
Tame them? They're going to be suicide mules.
Can I interject and say we need to get a new segment which is called Fishy Facts from Mel? Because every time I'm on, he claims that the Chindits pioneered this and that and the other, and I'm thinking, did they? Is that really a thing?
Do you know what? Do you want references, Dando? Do you want references?
Just fictional facts with Mel.
No, mate. I will give you the link to the documentary about One Air Commando and everything they learned and how they pioneered it. They were the first ones to use helicopters in a medical rescue of a downed pilot and 2 Chindits. Yeah, I've told you the various stories, but no, I love the documentaries. But what I was trying to say is, obviously, we're learning lots about the war and that sort of stuff as we're playing Bolt Action and finding about how it fits in with what happened in the past and all the ancillary stuff like that went on in the theatre and around the theatre. Yeah, what surprised me is how much Corbyn's picked up just from hearing me talk. Yeah, now. Obviously, Corbyn made the trench because they were studying World War II. Okay, and I gave him as part of the project. One of my one of my commenters, sent me one of the old World at War packs, and inside it had a letter from one of the successful Chindit operations. It was the Chindit edition. So he included that, but he went off and did his own research on the Japanese and everything like that, and did a PowerPoint on it, off the back of what we've been doing with Bolt Action and this homework.
Lots of banzai in it.
Oh, hell no, mate, he loved the banzai. There was also Batfink. I've got no idea where Batfink came. I think, Chop Suey?
Yeah.
Do you know in Batfink's sort of sidekick was like a martial arts guy who did chops? I think he'd searched on Google for images to do with banzai, and he'd come up, so he'd included him as well. I mean, he's 10, you've got to let the lad off. 10 out of 10. But it's like I'm sitting there, and there's the Chop Suey guy, and Batfink in the background. I'm thinking, how is this relevant? But no, obviously, it's getting us into the history stuff. Now, Dave, are you up this weekend for a game?
I am. As long as nothing goes wrong between now and Friday, I should be up on Friday.
Excellent, mate. We are booked, dude. Table will be ready to be deployed.
As long as nothing happens, touch wood.
Family
Children.
life, we know that drill.
Children. But
Speaking of the table, how is the table?
The table is coming together nicely. Foreground have done me a blinder and sent me a bucket load of trees for it. All the plastic foliage is glued on and down, and I am just on the finishing touches now. So that's coming together. Then I've got to actually build the table. Which is a little bit more challenging, but it is coming together and it is looking sweet as, to be truthful. The foreground trees look really nice. They've sort of like, I got a couple, but now it looks really sort of, I'll tell you what took longest, painting all the apples yellow. So they look like tropical fruits. Rather than apple trees.
The attention to detail.
Brain's abandoning us for a ciggy. Gang of Maz is sending me emails on Bamboo. Bill's saying, what light anti-tank weapons were available for the Japanese in Bolt Action? I know they had the 20mm anti-tank rifle. Did they have anything else, Dave?
We did.
Sticky bombs. It's a lot of improvised stuff, really.
Suicide squadrons. stick them in a hole with a artillery shell, and then stick that in the bottom of the tank. Everything else is really for the Japs. I mean, there's the new, is it 70mm or 75mm anti-tank gun?
I thought
The
it was
45 is a
45.
beast. The 45. Yeah, that thing's a beast.
45.
It's nothing compared to that 105. That thing is
No,
horrible.
Yeah, here's my 70mm
Yeah.
field gun. It's tiny. You put it.
Yeah.
It's a big difference what 35mm will do for you. You know.
Beautiful.
It's great because we get loads of customers. We get loads of customers who buy the 70mm gun and report that the barrel's missing, and it's like it's not missing. It's just really small. The amount of people that emails and say it's missing, it's amazing. It's that small, people just miss it.
Do you know what? I
just
remember
getting
looking down at it and thinking, "Where's the gun?"
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? But if that's what it was, that's what it was, isn't it? Yeah. Now, I
can stick it on its base because its base is big enough now.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
That's the 75 and the 105, or 70 and the
It's a bit of a beast.
105.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah. There's a certain analogy I'd like
It's
to
as
make.
big as
about
you.
No, I'm not even going to go there. We can't go there. That's too bad. Just sorry, my mind. Right, I'm asking about light weapons. Hey, did the Japs have bazookas?
They would have pinched some.
Not
They
that I
had
know.
a weird sort of prototype thing that was a bit like a bazooka, but I don't think it was like widely issued. I think that for the most part, they would have sort of pinched American ones, I believe. But yeah, for the most part, it was kind of improvised stuff. It was kind of satchel charges, it was sticky bombs, and it was sort of laying traps and laying ambush for the tanks, really. I'd say the 45mm tank gun was a bit of a beast. It punched holes clean through Shermans a lot of the time. And they really hit them really well. So they just laid an ambush and just destroyed them. So yeah, a lot of it was just, again, a lot of the guys, what they did was they, the bands I charged, died on top of the tank, pried the hatches open, just threw grenades in. So it wasn't necessarily anti-tank weaponry. It was just different ways of taking out tanks. And then the Marines kind of countered that with putting nails in the hatches and stuff and all that kind of thing. But yeah, they didn't have a lot of anti-tank weaponry. They kind of used ingenuity more than anything else, I think.
Yeah. Ingenuity.
Yeah.
That's what the Japanese
That's
call
all
it.
I managed to do is just throw my Japs at that Sherman, and that got it down. They got to shoot and killed most of the guys beforehand.
Yeah, it did. It
It
was
killed
good.
like 3 coming in.
I
Now
think that was about the only thing he killed. How many times did he try and kill the Sheila? It's like rubber coating.
That's about how many times, John?
I
Your
never
mic is-
realised that Chiha would last that long. That was just a miracle. Yeah. Now, I have been looking through the Bolt Action in the Pacific, theatre book, Empire in Flames. Yeah, and there is a unit in there, that I am doing right now. Yeah.
It's not.
Gurkha paratroopers.
It's not the Paras, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's the Gurkha paratroopers. Dave, have you looked at the rules for the Gurkha paratroopers?
No.
Have you not? Would you like me to sum them up for you?
Go on then.
Yeah. Get
Let's hear
Gurkhas
it.
at one side, yeah. Get commandos at the other, then put them together. Yeah.
And
then you get
burn just as easy.
Oh, you can laugh, mate. You can laugh. My Gurkha, mate.
Yes, they'll
you
come
wouldn't
down in
even
their
see it.
parachutes, and then it'll be woof, and they're gone.
Mate, I didn't even flank my Gurkhas last time. They were in the open, half a table away, and you were still bricking it. Yeah. You wait till these deep striking, paratroopers come in and
That's
land
all right,
behind
mate.
your lines.
We'll shoot them
On
in
the
the
second turn. What's Dando up to? He's looking suspicious there, guys.
I'm working on a thing.
He's
I'll
working
show you
on
at the end
a
of the
thing.
stream. I'll show you at the end of the hangout. It's kind of interesting. It's quite a Dando special project thing that I'm doing.
Right. Well,
It's seasonal as well.
Is it? Right. Well, Brain Spider saying Gurkha Paras are broken to hell. I mean, yeah, I appreciate that, Brain. They probably are, and that's why I love them. Yeah, I'm probably going to do an entire Gurkha Parachute battalion just for Dave.
It looks like you're gonna have to head that way anyway. Like, there doesn't seem to be much luck coming your way index-wise, anyway.
Well, I've got tank envy, mate. I'm even envious of Dave's Chi-Hat. You know, until I get my air support on the table with my rockets that cause double damage. Yeah, then, you know.
I need to get a plane as well. That's one of my things to get.
Gurkhas in ram kangaroos. Gurkhas mounted on kangaroos. That's some fun. They have a Burmese tiger, don't they? Or a Burmese lion. Come Gurkhas riding Burmese tigers.
Komodo dragons as well.
Oh, no. You're getting back onto Gates of Antares now, mate. Calm down.
Right, Brain has a good question for Open Fabulous Dave. It's a good time to do this. Question for Richard. Have you got any sneaky bits of news for us this evening?
Sneaky bits of news.
We're not talking about you.
Nothing.
Yeah. We don't want to know about any alter egos or Tumblr accounts or anything like that. Let's keep it Warlord based, mate.
I'm not sure. I think I've sold a lot of it before, really. We've got the Japanese anti-aircraft gun on its way, 20mm anti-aircraft gun, but I think I've mentioned that before.
Yeah.
We've got the interesting, again, more interesting Japanese vehicles. So we've got the.
Wait. Just 1 second again. Did you say anti-aircraft gun? I haven't even built the Smiggin plane, man. You're going to look.
Yeah.
No, you're not sending one of those, mate. You're not sending one of those.
Always thinking
don't you? Well, what do you do? Have team meetings on a Monday morning? Say, are we going to screw over Mel today, eh?
Yeah. When you were saying about, how do we work out what we're going to release next? It's always what's Mel collecting and what really kills that really well and effectively.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
I'm feeling the love. Right, go on. What else is coming?
Yeah, Japanese anti-aircraft guns coming. Not exactly sure when, but shortly. Then we've got more interesting Japanese vehicles. We had the SSKI was out the other week, which is a flamethrower armed beast. Then we've got I can't remember the name of it, but there's another Japanese armed vehicle coming, which is one which has wheels that they replaced and put onto train tracks as well. So it's another quite interesting one. Also, we put up a preview on our Facebook page of a Japanese truck that's coming as well. So people have been asking for Japanese trucks for ages. So we've got one of those in the works. So that was previewed on our Facebook page and our Instagram page, I think, back on Saturday. So that's coming.
Handy for me to blow up in bushes.
Yeah. And then what else have we got? I'd say that's kind of Pacific-wise. That's all I know about at the moment. There's other bits and pieces coming, but that's not Pacific related. Do you want to talk about winter stuff, or should we keep it Pacific-wise?
Well, come on. I mean, you have got, Yeah, go for it, dude. Because I mean, we're interested. It's not just Pacific for us, is it? It's all right, Dave.
Anything Marine's good. Yeah. So if you've got anything on that, that would be good.
Marines-wise, no, not at the moment. I don't know about anything. If I did, I've been digging, but no, not that I know of. Say December we've got a big push, which is Battle of the Bulge. We've seen our winter Germans and Americans quite a lot on our Instagram page. So we've got a full range of winter Germans and a full range of winter Americans coming out in December. And again, kind of a big theme to release on Battle of the Bulge. So there'll be kind of scenarios on the website. There'll be painting guides on how to paint winter stuff. There'll be kind of hobby guides on how to do winter basing, on how to do winter terrain bits and pieces. There's a couple of tanks that I think we've previewed on Instagram, but I won't mention in case we haven't, that are specific to Battle of the Bulge. And there's I can't mention it. There's a big cat variant that we haven't done yet that's coming out in January, I think, that is going to be very interesting. Again, it's one of the German big cats, so everyone loves the big cats because they're big, nasty, and amazing. So that's coming out, I think, January. With lots of winter stuff in December. Really is the next big bolt action thing. I suppose that's it.
Let's be honest. I mean, realistically, as a product, bolt action, you will maintain indefinitely, I'm assuming, because you wouldn't you? It'd be like any, what I mean? I mean, from a business point of view, every business would, So theoretically, I mean, you go. I mean, where are we going to be in 10 years' time, mate?
The future.
Well, obviously.
sorry.
I mean,
to go back for a second. to go back for a second, there is this thing that I showed you guys at the start of the stream before we went live, which is the dug-in Panther, which we've shown on Instagram painted. It's literally on the Eastern Front. When the Germans had their tanks knocked out a lot, they would just bury them, essentially, and use them as kind of pillboxes or turrets. So this is a buried Panther. So you can see, obviously, the entire body has been sunk to the ground. The turret is separate, obviously, so it can fire, and it's kind of buried amongst kind of rubble. So particularly on the Eastern Front in Stalingrad and in Leningrad, and in the ruined cities, they would just bury the tanks at crossroads, particularly. So at a big T-junction, you sit this in the middle, and that T-junction is yours, and people aren't going to get that T-junction unless they throw a lot of men at it. So that's the thing we've previewed a bit before, and it's finally started to come through from resins. I'm not sure I'm supposed to show you it, so if I disappear tomorrow, I may have been smuggled off by the warlord higher bodies. But yeah, that's coming. That's I think January.
The worst case scenario, mate. They're just going to throw a couple of Gates Antares boxes in the sack and beat you with them.
Did someone mention Gates Antares boxes?
Oh, here we go. He's at it again.
Oh.
It's sat there waiting for any mention, and it comes out. It's great.
Sorry, what was that?
But yes, I mean,
Don't do.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, next year we've got, I think, January, February, we've got the next theatre book coming out, which is Duel in the Sun, which is based on the Desert War in the Mediterranean. Then we have, obviously, March-ish time, I think, March, April, we've got Clockwork Goblin working with us on Conflict 47, which is kind of weird war stuff with walkers and with armoured troops and with werewolves and vampires and all that wonderful stuff, which will be a standalone release.
Now, this sort of comes off my question, where you're going in the future, because I very recently have got into what's it called? Man in High Castle, The Man in the High Castle. Have you seen it on Netflix or Amazon? I can't remember.
But I will do.
Okay, basically, it's alternate future where the Nazis and the Japanese won the Second World War and now run the world, including America. Yeah, and obviously, from our point of view, you know, we're very Pacific-based. Yeah, I know personally, I can't see me jumping into like the Western theatre and saying, "Oh, I'm going to do an expeditionary force." You know, my painting just isn't that quick. Yeah, I'd rather collect a really nice chin-dip 8th Army force that I could pick and choose from and have something really, rather than jump on this one, jump on the next one, jump on the next one. But that leads us to where do we go in the future? You know, and so when I saw that, it was like, well, oh, that's interesting. Do you know what I mean? That's a real tangent because Japanese wins the war, then you've obviously got the Japanese invasion of America, which theoretically would have been, I mean, assuming that they did well and the European theatre collapsed, what, 1950s about? Yeah, so you could have... I mean, theoretically, you know, if Japan could have, like, secured the oil fields and its supplies, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, it was a I mean, America was committed on that many fronts that if the European theatre didn't go that well, and you know, for example, if Germany didn't go into the East and just stuck with the West, you know, they'd have won. You know, so you're sort of looking at the tangents, and I'm looking at, you know, maybe in a year or two we put together like an American city. You know, the last of the British escaped over to America, you know, some US Marines, you know, old vets, a bit ramshackled because the war's gone on a bit. Perhaps the Japanese got the A-bombs, or, I mean, they were dropping those incendiary the balloons, weren't they? So, I mean, that could have stepped up, and most of the the West Coast could have got burnt out. Yes, I still do that. I did that in the army, you know. Never eat shredded wheat. Which way are we going, folks? That way. Well, I mean, from war...
But yes, so... go on.
Are you having conversations, like those sort of conversations, like where does bolt action go in next year, the year after, 5 years?
Yeah, we are fully planned out for the next few years, I think. We've got kind of a detailed plan for next year, sort of big releases wise, when it comes to things like plastic tanks. Obviously, plastics we have to send to suppliers way in advance to get them made.
So you've got production, printing.
Giant thing. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, books-wise, as I say, January is the last of, I think, the last of our theatre books, which is the Mediterranean and desert one. Then the next big thing is Conflict 47 in sort of, I think, March, April time. And then we go from the theatre books that we've done, which kind of cover entire theatres of war. We're then doing a series, I believe, of kind of campaign books, so it focuses down a bit more. So things like there might be a Stalingrad book, there might be a Market Garden book, there might be a Berlin book, that kind of thing. So it focuses down to sort of specific,
Operation
sort of specific hotspots. Yeah, and there's more special characters, more special scenarios, more releases, that kind of thing, to expand Bolt Action further. And then, obviously, the community are asking, because obviously at the moment we've got, I think, 17 pages of errata for Bolt Action. So people are asking for Bolt Action version 2. I can't say anything at the moment, but that is something we are looking at. So that could be a thing in the next few years or something. And then, yeah, going forward, you know, we've talked about possibility. So we're doing Weird War with Clockwork Goblin on Conflict 47, but we've also discussed the idea of doing things like what are called the paper panzers, which is all the tanks that the Nazis that we found that all the Germans planned to build. So things like the Mouse, which is this huge thing that's like twice as big as a Tiger, and things like maybe even the Rat, which was this huge thing that in 28mm scale is like 3 feet long by a foot wide by a foot tall. So it's this huge land battleship.
What?
And all the planned tanks we found. So all the really beastly things.
So
essentially, we've got. Go on.
Theoretically, if you're going after all the weird stuff, could we be getting a Nazi UFO? Because they drew one, they had plans.
Yeah, the bell. Yeah, yeah. We're not sort of going after the Weird War thing. It's just kind of like you say. We've done an awful lot of it. World War II. We're continuing to do World War II, but we're also looking at other options. And you know, Clockwork Goblin we know quite well from a bunch of other different bits and pieces. So it just kind of, you know, they already do walkers. They already do some really awesome specialist troops and stuff. So it's as a collaboration, it works for both of us. And we're always open to collaboration. So if other companies come to us with other ranges that kind of help with different theatres or different aspects of Weird War, because Weird War is a massive genre in itself. Weird War can mean really occult stuff like vampires and werewolves. It can be really kind of technical and kind of lots of walkers and stuff. It can be, again, paper panzer stuff. So Weird War in itself, there's a bunch of different aspects to Weird War. So there's heaps we could do, and you know, ideally we want to do it all. Really, we want to do as much as we can because we are as big a tank nuts as all of you. We're as big a history buff as all of you. We're as big of a weird conversion freak as all of you. Between the staff here, we're all a bit weird in our own little way. We've all got our own little cliques and little niches, and we all love different stuff. I love buffaloes. Dave loves weird German giant tanks. So yeah, everyone loves their own little thing. So we want to do everything we can. It's just we are a small team. We're limited to what we can do at a time, kind of thing.
I mean, just off the back of that comment, I mean, I know other than John, I mean, I know Dave pretty much makes his living in the hobby. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Watchgullet, you know, I make a considerable amount of, you know, I split between my brother and making terrain commissions to bring money in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's be honest, no one gets into this industry for the money. Yeah, you get into it because you love it. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's obsession.
You know, I've worked in industries where you get in them for the money. You know, there's a very big difference, and the fact of the matter is, you've got to admit, waking up every morning and doing what you really love, even when you have those crappy days, yeah, is still the best thing since sliced bread.
It's never a crappy day at Warlord because we get cake and we get things. Today we had a giant tub full of homemade toffee today. So we're all on a massive sugar high. At Warlord, if there's a bad day, everyone goes and gets coffee, or everyone goes and gets cake. So there's never a bad day at Warlord. It's always a great day at Warlord.
So,
happiest company ever.
Yeah. You see, this goes off our previous conversation, because we were talking about the addictiveness of sugar. Yeah. Now, if Warlord gets so many cakes all the time, and we've seen the results, they're always smiling, they're always busy, productive, and engaging, and all this sort of stuff. If by any chance, by a fluke chance, yeah.
Sugar, ain't they? That's how they get paid, in pounds of sugar.
Yeah, but I tell you, if by any chance, yeah, there's a break in the sugar supply for Warlord for a couple of days, basically you'll have people with the addictiveness level of heroin all locked in the same building, cold turkeying, yeah, live on social media.
There was a fantastic thing last year where I think just before Christmas we had this wonderful because Warlord runs on Madcap Ideas as well. It's cake and Madcap Ideas. So we had this idea where we went, right, okay, we've got these tank molds that we do resins in. I wonder how different they are from like chocolate molds. I wonder if we can make a chocolate tank. So we actually looked into all of the health and safety and all the different laws and legal stuff behind using our molds to make chocolate tanks. And obviously it's food, so like the amount of health and safety laws and different guidelines you've got to run through are absolutely endless. So we didn't do it in the end, but we thought about doing chocolate tanks at one point.
Yeah, fundamentally though, RTV silicon is perfectly. You can get food safe RTV silicon, so theoretically, you know, it's certainly doable technically, isn't it? You know, it's just like you said, it's the preparation area, the storage, ingredients, cleaning. I mean, I remember watching a program about airbrushing, and you need special hoses that are transparent for the people who airbrush cakes and stuff like that, so they can see if any rust is going down it or anything like that. But that's a mint idea. I particularly like the idea that it was chocolate. You know?
Don't steal it. Don't steal the idea. It's our idea.
It's all right, mate. Yeah, I'll just get. My wife makes awesome. Actually, we've got a bit of a competition going on because Dave's missus makes pretty impressive cakes, and my missus makes pretty impressive cakes.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that, because it'll become a thing. We'll make it a competition. It's going to be a thing.
Dave,
when you guys come to HQ,
she's made some serious cakes. She's made Mario cakes and
Dave, that. You've seen my wife's cakes. My wife's cakes rock. That you know that my wife's cakes rock. Are we going to have a wife cake-off, mate? Japanese cake against Chindic cake, or British cake?
Yeah, they've got to be filled appropriately.
Do you know? No,
Dave, we're
doing it wrong. Dave, we're doing it wrong. Yeah, this is a tale of three gamers. Yeah, single bloke onesie's got to make his own cake.
Hey, I'm just very good at eating cake.
You can have an oat cake, John.
So, are we going to get the wives on a cake-off? I'll see if my wife's up for it.
I don't see why not.
In which case, I will take John onto my team, because obviously... Oh, wait, there's the wife now. I think she's overheard me.
No.
Oh, come on! You're going to let Stacey beat you?
Oh, wow.
No, not happening tonight.
That was convincing.
We're not having this conversation.
Dave, I'll make the cake. I'm not letting
I'll
the
make the cake as well. We have to
I don't know
make
if I can trust you making a cake.
And we have to film it.
Dave, yeah, we should do that.
You gotta do a video log.
Video log? I reckon we get together, yeah, and make the cake, then play bolt action while it's what you call it, and we'll do it over a weekend, and we'll get drunk. Then we'll throw it out to the community to vote on the best bolt action cake. You know, Japanese versus Brits. Mine's going to look like a donkey.
Mine's
with
gonna
an
look
MMG on the back.
No, I was going to make a flamethrower.
You're going to make a... Shut up. Shut up with your
flamethrower cake.
I've told you, the gaming board's going to be swamp board. No vehicles allowed.
Oh, that's just building terrain to suit your needs.
I've just spotted Brain's comment. He's saying, I just want to sit at the wall like that, pretend I work there to get cake. I'm all for that. I could totally do that. That'd be great. Hang on, I'm quite far away. Is that any better?
Yeah, he's underwater again. Yeah, you see, I think we need to visit Warlord, guys. You know, I think we need to go see Warlord, yeah, and I reckon we need to raid their cake stash. Yeah, and then film what happens when they all go through sugar withdrawal. Lock them in the building and nick all the sugar. Yeah, I bet you'll see Rick Priestley trying to bludgeon Alessio to death with a copy of Gates of Antares.
What was that?
Who do you reckon? Andy Obday or Dando over the last fight for the last Jaffa cake?
Obday's a ninja. It's always Obday every time. He's a ninja.
Is he a bit of a rumbler? Is he, mate?
Yeah.
He'll be having the half full moon then. Death by cake.
Yeah. I'm not happy now. You've upset me now.
Oh, this is fighting talk. What we don't know is John's house is full of water and he's an Atlantean. Yeah, that's about right for John. He's in Scotland. Of course he's underwater.
It's going for the ceiling.
tell you what, I wouldn't be underwater if it was one of the places where if the world was to flood or the water level was raised by a couple of feet.
Dude,
Can we just
Up
call
here.
him Aquaman?
John, wiggle your wires, mate. Something statically chronic on your connection, mate. You sounded pretty rough, dude.
I think
Dando.
wiggle your wires is going to be my catchphrase.
Wiggle your wires.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of catchphrases, mate. Right, so Dave, we're having a cake off then. Are we
We're
going
gonna
to have a cake off? Right, we will discuss terms on Friday, sir. Yeah?
Terms.
8th Army
Yes.
against Japanese
Yeah.
cake off.
Definitely.
Right, okay.
I
we
can
put
see me
that-
winning that as well.
You're a chef, aren't you?
I know my way around the kitchen.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
You best get some help off the wife.
Well, wife? Time to deploy the secret weapon, mate. I'm deploying the future son-in-law.
Oh no, that's cheating, man.
Oh, look at the Japanese! The Japanese! Now the British got some assistance. The Japanese! They've suddenly got scared. There he goes. You better go get some help, haven't you? When I mentioned the help I'm getting, look at him. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a chef, come on.
No, he's not a chef. He's a Michelin chef.
No.
Yeah, with a special interest in pastry.
Well played, Mr. Bowes. Well played.
Well played. Oh, mate,
Sounds
always
like my
keep
kind
the
of guy,
light.
to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, you'll love Nate. Nate. In fact, he's not far from you. What you call it? We'll have to get together when we're next down and meet Steph and Nate. You know, basically my eldest girl, and they met Port Miriam when she was working there at the hotel, and he was the head chef, and you know, they're soon to get married, hopefully, over in Florida. Yes, I am that old, but. Yeah, he is an awesome cook. Did you know he's got 17 stages in cooking roast potatoes, and they taste like they've been made by God.
Anything that's
Yeah,
I
actually told him after he made us a roast dinner. Yeah, I forgave him for sleeping with my daughter. You know, as a father, it's a difficult thing, and I'll tell you a story about that another time. Yeah, because I've got a cracking story on that one, but that's not for what you call it. But yeah, I'm bringing Nath. So bring it on, cake boy. You're Japanese.
I will. It'll be a raw cake. It'll be a fugu cake, a rotten cake. Fugu.
Fugu cake. Is that a Japanese cake? I'm gonna. Oh, should I make Eccles cakes? Because they were in the ration packs.
Yes.
Ah, we could get topical here. What should we do for the Americans? Do you want a Mars bar, mate?
Donut.
Oh, you don't want to give me Mars bars, so just get deep fried if we're being stereotypical.
Isn't there a law against that in Scotland now? Deep frying it like people and chocolate and stuff like that.
People, I'm pretty sure that's a law everywhere.
Yeah,
you don't want to deep fry people anywhere.
Yeah, but remember, there's still laws where you can kill Welshmen in Chester, like after midnight with a crossbow.
If they're up a hill or some.
No, it's within the walls of Chester, isn't it? After midnight, yeah, with a crossbow you can kill them. Can't use a longbow, unfortunately. No, there's a legitimate law. You know, it hasn't been struck off. I mean, I'm damn sure they'll find a different law to prosecute you under. But you know how it is. These laws hang around. Yeah, you never know when. I mean, frying was big, you know, especially in Scotland. I mean, they learned to fry around about the same time as they discovered fire.
It's taught at like nursery. It's one of the skills you pick
It's
up
preschool.
before you even go to school.
How to fry.
Yeah. How to deep fry anything.
Mate, frying is so ingrained in your culture. Even your gyms have deep fat smoothies. Lord Tattoo says he's a head chef for Jamie Oliver. No, he's not. He was when he was there's a different one. What's the right? You know the actor who did Zulu. You know, don't throw those bloody spears at me. Michael Caine. Yeah. There's a chef called Michael Caine as well, and he trained under him. Nate did. So you've got an arse kicking coming, Dave. But no, me and you will do cakes. We will discuss it. We will do it on the Bolt Action Forum as a cake-off, a Pacific cake-off. We will let them vote. Yeah. We can work out timeframes. Yeah. The remaining...
And the winner gets to truck off one of their real life passes, because you both have them.
No. We're going to go heavier. Yeah,
okay.
because, yeah, there is something that we both really, really want, isn't there, Dave?
Tanks.
There's a couple of things I really want.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a certain Japanese tank that could be winging your way. Now, based on the cake-off, could be whether that becomes terrain.
No. A captured tank.
No. Terrain. Because that way, whenever I put it on the
capture it.
No, because if I capture it, he'll want to borrow it back. But if I turn it into a wreck on a piece of terrain, it will be a constant reminder forever that he lost the cake-off. Whereas if he keeps it as a model and brings it into the game, it will be I mean, you can even model a little cake on the back of it or a little symbol. You know what I mean? We're talking grudges. And this can be the only one you have. You only get one chance of this. You can't go out and like get another one or any of that Rolex. Yeah, there is one thing. Yeah.
Come, Jesus Christ!
Come on, pressure on, boy.
This is like the anti-Jap fucking rally.
Dude, are you up for it? Are you man enough? Or how desperate for that tank are you?
I can outcake you. I can outcake you. Just
pressure's on. Right, Dando, you witness this. Yeah, we're having a cake-off. We will discuss it on Friday with regards to timings. Yeah, and depending on a consumer vote, can we rely on you to post, if we send the pictures to you, for you to sort of post to the Bolt Action group and, you know, sort of count the votes either way impartially? Yeah, and then on the basis of that, the one and only flame tank that either of us will ever have will go one way or another.
It's getting pretty desperate, though. It gets pretty desperate, though, right? When the only way that Mel can get a win against the Jap is to turn it into terrain.
Yeah. Bringing a Mr. Styles.
Mate, if he gets that tank, I've got no chance. Hey, cool. You're right, mate. Oh, cool. Come here. That's the dude who sent you your gun. What'd you say?
Thanks.
Right.
Really.
That's okay, dude. Right, go get your milk and get yourself off to bed, like it's late. You got school in the morning. Cheers for that, Rich.
Right, Bose, you're getting told what to make your cake.
Am I?
You should bake a Valentine.
I should make a Valentine. What, an AT or a Crusader? What should we do?
See if you can borrow some of the Warlord cake molds.
Hey, Willows. Willow. Oh, Dave. Right. So to draw a close, we've got a plan. We'll sort it on Friday. Yeah, we'll confirm it in a video with the timescales. Dan, we'll do our videos. Yeah, we'll upload it. Yeah, but before we sort of upload the finished results, yeah, we'll fire over the pictures to Dando so no one sees the cakes until Dando posts them, and then it votes either way for the best cake. Yeah, Dando, unless people have seen here, yeah, no telling people what the stakes are. Yeah, we'll announce that afterwards. Yeah, and of course, winner takes the other's cake as well.
Yep. The other one gets to destroy or devour the other one's cake.
Just to clarify, is it based on looks or how good the cake tastes?
No. It's simple. No, because it can't be down to taste because people on the internet can't taste it. It's got to be looks.
Oh, you could stitch the other person up by putting like chili powder and all sorts in the cake.
Yeah. Well, I think whoever wins it
just gets things that way. Yeah.
Okay, let's really step it up as well. Yeah, rather than the winner claims both cakes, the winner gets to rub the loser's cake in his face.
No, the loser has to eat the winner's cake with no hands. The whole cake.
No, dude, I'm going to
Okay.
shock. I'll be in a coma. I'll need a hypo pen.
That's fine. We'll be on standby, mate. We'll be on standby.
We will find some suitable additional punishment, but we know what the stakes are here. Right, so this is the Bolt Action Pacific Theatre Cake Off.
Bake Off. It's the
Bake
great
Off.
Bolt Action Bake Off.
It's the Great Bolt Action Bake Off.
Bake Off. That's it.
We couldn't have. I love this idea. We couldn't have planned this better. Yeah. The only other option is we take our cakes to Warlord and get them to taste them as well, because Warlord like cakes. But we may have to discuss that with the Dando afterwards. Yeah, once we've had a chat about timescales. You're right, lad.
It's my dad.
Love you, lad. Good night, God bless.
No.
Right, straight off to bed. No Xboxing. I can watch the internet, you know. So I think we've had a cracking show. We were easily over an hour in, and I think that's a good jolly. We've talked Pacific. We've talked that. We're not going to even mention the name in case Dando gets the damn box again. Here he goes.
Jason Paris, was it? There we go. There's the reminder.
Come on, let me present it. Oh, hello, princess. Present it to the world. Come on, Dando, wave your box about, man.
It's beautiful, beautiful.
I've got to say, the front cover of the book, I love. I really do. It's very iconic and reminds me of, you know, a very iconic book that I had a long time. In fact, I've still got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Dando, you've been working on something. You said save it to the end of the stream. Have you finished, or have you been laughing too much?
Have I been? I've been working on this beastie.
What's that? I see a man, a marine carrying a what's he dragging?
Christmas tree.
Oh, a Christmas tree. Oh, very seasonal. Oh, on that.
Because I haven't got a Christmas tree in my army yet.
Ah, right.
So now I have.
Have you seen the foreground trees, the snowy trees?
I have, yes.
They are beautiful. Dave, they're coming to a Fenris near you soon.
Ooh.
Yeah, but anyway.
Brain wants a copy of the Antares box.
Brain wants everything. Brain wanted me to. First off, earlier today, Brain wanted to email Foreground and tell him, I know Mel, send me free stuff. He's tried to be part of Warlord. Now he's after Brain. Yeah, you've already got a mount in a plastic crack. Leave it alone. He's pledged to do a load of Mantic stuff for the Oathkeepers, this month. Yeah, and he's got a massive commission for a load of Dark Angels to do. Stop it. You've got too much as it is. Right, guys, I think we should call it now. So I would just very like to thank, first off, the infamous Richard Dando for joining us tonight and putting up with us.
Why, thank you, sir. Why, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Been a pleasure, as always.
It always is, mate. We always have a bit of a giggle. We're not serious here. And then finally, my cohorts in crime. First, Onesie John. There can only be one.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. My update coming in the following week, by the way. Just throw that in.
Ooh, yeah, and I've got vehicles sent to you.
Guys.
Yeah, more painted. He's been down to Toys R Us again and bought another pound bag.
It's not painted green, actually, because it's part of the China stuff. See, you've been paying attention, haven't you?
China stuff. Oh, the sneaky. He's going full sex and Y, isn't he? Cheeky. And then finally, Little Dave. Yeah, Little Dave. He's what? You're not speaking, Dave.
He's frozen.
Is he frozen?
We're saying goodbye, Dave. Just wave and smile.
Goodbye.
Wave and smile. Goodbye. Oh, look at that. Yeah, wife brings me those. I'm a lucky man. Right. See you later, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for keeping us company. Yeah, I will be back on my channel pretty soon with all sorts of stuff. The church is done, so that'll probably end up on the Bolt Action Forum as well, because that's a beast. 29 hours. Yeah, and then back to Burma and get that finished for the weekend. So, see you soon, guys. All the best. Ta-da. Bye.